Bobby.
The colonization of Mars is within our lifetime, and it's the next frontier of the space race, is to set our eyes on the red planet. This is important to all of us because when we colonize Mars, it will change not only our economy, but the global economy. It is also important to know this because as taxpayers, a lot of that funding, about $1 out of every $200 of government spending, goes to NASA. As a mechanical engineer, I plan to go into the field of rocketry to build stuff to actually be shot out into space and possibly even to Mars. In the next few moments, we will go over why we need to go to Mars, some of the problems we will face while at Mars, and finally, some solutions to those problems. First off, why do we need to go to Mars? Earth is a great planet, but it's not perfect. And one of the likelihoods that'll happen is that we get hit by a massive asteroid. According to Petrank, on average, we should get hit by an asteroid every 1 out of 700,000 days, which is about 1 asteroid every 2,000 years. And the last asteroid we got hit by was 65 million years ago, and let's just say the dinosaurs weren't too happy about that. And yes, we have ways to possibly change the trajectory of an asteroid, like shooting a missile at it or even spray painting a side of it so that it is affected by the sun's rays. But we've never actually had to test any of these methods at all, so they're very possible to fail. Furthermore, we can be destroyed by more than just an asteroid. Some other possibilities are also floods, droughts, and even a major change in climate. An example of that being global warming, which, if the climate gets too hot, it could send the human race into extinction. And since now we know why we need a plan B, a plan to actually go and colonize Mars, what are some of the problems that we will face while there? First off, according to Mangalo, 95% of Mars's atmosphere is made up of carbon dioxide, and we can't bring an unlimited amount of oxygen to Mars. The next problem we have is radiation. Since Mars has such a little atmosphere, the sun's ultraviolet rays can easily go through it, and they can alter our DNA and eventually cause cancer. And the next thing that we would need to think about is the gravitational pull of Mars, which is only 3.7 meters per second squared, about 1/3 that of Earth's. And that could lead to not only skeletal deterioration, but also muscle weakness and a weakened immune system. So now that we've discussed some of the problems we will have while at Mars, what are some of the solutions to some of these problems? And how will we begin to even test any of these? First off, Ryan Mosley states out in his article, Mars Invasion 2020, that we plan to test some experiments on a rover that we will send to Mars sometime this year. Another thing that we are doing is we are currently working on a way to terraform Mars, or essentially change the climate of Mars to reflect that more of Earth, make it a lot warmer or cooler in the night, or warmer during the night and cooler during the day. That way we could actually live there. Another thing that we are working on is MOXIE, or Mars Oxygen In-Suit Resource Experiment, which essentially takes a carbon dioxide atom and splits it up into 2 separate atoms, carbon atoms and oxygen atoms, so that we can rebreathe it. The next thing we are working on is NASA and the University of Arizona is teaming up to build a greenhouse that is actually able to be used for water recycling, waste recycling, oxygen replenishment, as well as to grow food. There's also other organizations who are trying to create a system that changes the radiation that we will receive on Mars to actual electricity that we could use to run our instruments. Elon Musk plans to send people to Mars by 2025 to 2027, and plans to send hundreds, if not thousands of people to Mars by the 2030s to 2050s. In the past few minutes, we went over why we need to go to Mars, some of the problems we will face, and finally, some of those solutions. So hopefully you can tell other people and spread the knowledge. Going to Mars will be the next big step in all of mankind, and we all need to be a part of it. We all need to have some say in what happens and to help change the course of human history. Thank you.
That was a lot longer than the last one.
Yeah.
You added a lot more, it seemed like, too.